my dear friends, how are you? I hope you're good and I'm also fine in here. I welcome you to my channel English Planet, wherein I make videos about English grammar, English proverbs, English idioms, and English pronunciations. In today's video, I'm going to talk about types of sentences. But before I could proceed further, I would like to give a brief introduction about myself. I am your friend Sunil. I am a production engineer. Also, I have done MBA from the University of Mumbai, India. So that's about it. Without wasting much of your time, let's jump straight into the video. Now, before actually moving to the types of sentences, let me take this opportunity to explain you what an independent clause is and what a dependent clause is. Well, an independent clause is a group of words that contain a subject and a verb and express a complete thought. Independent clause will always express a complete thought. And dependent clause is a group of words which again has a subject and a verb, but it doesn't express a complete thought. Let's look at the examples. Our planets revolve around the sun. Now this is an independent clause because it contains the subject our planets and the verb revolve, and it expresses a complete thought in itself. Let's look at the second example. Damien won't be able to play in the game because he injured his foot. Now this because he injured his foot is a dependent clause because it does not express a complete thought. It is incomplete, but still it has a subject and a verb. He is the subject and injured is the verb. So that's the basic difference between an independent clause and a dependent clause. Independent clause will always express a complete thought. Dependent clause has to depend upon independent clause to express a complete meaning. It does not by itself express a complete thought. Both of them will have a subject and a verb. Now what do you mean by a sentence? Well, a sentence is a set of grammatically arranged words that conveys complete sense. It has a more often than not it has a subject and a predicate. Now what is a subject? For example, if I say he is going to the market, so he is the subject and going to the market is going to the market is a predicate. Predicate will contain verb plus object. Now let us look at the structure of the English sentences. A new sentence begins with a capital letter. So H is capital here. He obtained his degree. A sentence ends in punctuation. What is a punctuation? Punctuation could be period. Period means dot, full stop, a question mark, or an exclamation point. He obtained his degree, full stop. A sentence contains a subject that is only given once. You cannot say Smith, he obtained his degree. You can say either Smith obtained his degree or he obtained his degree. Subject cannot be repeated in the same sentence. A sentence contains a verb or a verb phrase. He obtained his degree. Obtained is the verb. And to know more about verb phrases, I have already made a video on verb phrases. You can check out that. A sentence follows S plus V plus O. That is nothing but subject plus verb plus object. Verb plus object is nothing but the predicate. This is the order which a sentence follows. So he is obtained his degree. He is the subject. Obtained is the verb. His degree is the object. In order to find out the object, you have to ask what or whom to the verb. He obtained what? His degree. So his degree is the object, direct object. A sentence must have a complete idea that stands alone. This is also called as independent clause. A sentence should have a complete meaning in itself. For example, he obtained his degree. It's complete. The sentence is complete. He is giving us a sense. So a sentence must have a complete idea. So here the complete idea is given. Now there are two kinds of classifications for the sentences. First type of sentence is based upon function. So what are they? Let's have a look. First one is based upon the function. The first one is declarative sentence. Second one is interrogative sentence. Third one is exclamatory sentence. And fourth one is imperative sentence. So let's have a look at each one of them in a bit detail. Now what is a declarative sentence? It expresses an opinion or simply makes a statement. Declarative sentence will make an opinion. It will express an opinion or simply make a statement. For example, that car is old. This is an opinion. It expresses someone's opinion. That car is old. I love honey on toast. This is a statement. The girl likes pancakes but she doesn't know how to make them. This is a statement. And the declarative sentence uses all kinds of tenses, be it past, be it future, be it present. It uses all kinds of tenses. For example, I went to the store yesterday. This is the past tense. I am going to the shop now. This is the present continuous. I will go to the ball game tomorrow. This is the future indefinite. So it uses all kinds of tenses, the declarative statements. Now, types of declarative statement. There are two kinds: positive sentence and negative sentence. Positive sentence will be affirmative. It will never contain no or not. For example, the girl is singing or the girl is going to the market. These are positive sentences. Now, what is a negative statement? Negative statement sentence will always contain no or not. For example, the girl is not dancing or the girl is not going to the market. So there's a word not in that. So these are negative sentences. Second type of sentence based upon the structure is the interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence will always ask a question. It usually begins with the WH kind of question. WH is nothing but what, where, which, why, how. How is also a WH question, and it ends with a question mark. Let us look at the examples. Where are you going? What is happening? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to write something for you? Are you going to school today? These are all interrogative sentences because it is ending with a question mark and is starting is beginning with a WH type question. Now there are four types of interrogative sentences. Which are they? They are yes no interrogatives, alternative interrogatives, WH interrogatives, and tech question. Let us have a look at each one of them in a bit detail. Now yes no interrogatives. They require a yes no answer. If you get a yes no answer, then those questions are yes no interrogatives. For example, are you going home? You may answer yes or no. Will you come with me? You may answer again yes or no. So the answer to each one of the above question will be either a yes or a no. So these are yes no interrogatives. Second one is the alternate interrogatives. It is also known as the choice question because it presents to you two kinds of choices. Let us look at the examples. Do you prefer coffee or tea? So it is presenting you a choice, either coffee or tea. Will you come with me now or will you go with James afterwards? So it's presenting again to you with a choice. Do you prefer to live in the village or the city? Again a choice. Will they buy an apartment or a villa? Again a choice. So these are alternate interrogatives or a choice interrogatives. Now WH interrogatives. They are the questions using one of the question words. Which one? Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Auxiliary verbs can also be used in this type of questions. For example, where are you going? How are you doing? Why did you do that? These are WH interrogatives. Remember, how also comes in WH interrogative, although it is starting with H. And finally, the tag questions. These are the questions formed by attaching tags to the end of the declarative sentence. For example, you are from USA. This is the declarative sentence. Aren't you? You're adding the question tag. You're confirming it. Aren't you? So this is a tag question. She is watching a film in the TV at home. Isn't she? So again, this is a tag question. You're confirming by asking, isn't she? You will go to your hometown tomorrow, won't you? So again, this is a tag question. She was a kind woman, wasn't she? Again, this is a tag question because you are confirming it by asking, wasn't she? He is not attending the meeting, is he? So this is the tag that you are attaching at the end. So this is a tag question. Now the third type of sentence is the exclamatory sentence. What is an exclamatory sentence? An exclamatory sentence will always express strong emotions. You cannot identify in the speech, but while writing you can definitely identify the exclamatory sentence. It will always express a strong emotion. Let's look at the examples. What a tasty pizza. It will always follow a exclamatory mark, an exclamatory mark. We are the champions. What a cute baby. So these are all exclamatory sentences. Now let us look at the exclamatory sentences expressing strong emotions. Many, many happy returns of the day. Happy New Year. Happy Christmas. These are all like sentences, explanatory sentences expressing strong emotions. Now let us have a look at the exclamatory sentences beginning with what. What a beautiful scenery! Exclamatory mark. What a cute baby! Exclamatory mark. What a nice behavior! Exclamatory mark. So these are all exclamatory sentences beginning with the what. Now these are the exclamatory sentences beginning with how. How brightly it shines! Exclamatory mark. How beautifully she sings! Exclamatory mark. How neatly she has kept house! Exclamatory mark. So these are all exclamatory sentences beginning with how. Exclamatory sentences containing such. She is such a kind lady. He is such a bright student. She is such a wonderful writer. So these are exclamatory sentences containing such. Now these are the exclamatory sentences containing so. She is so glamorous. He is so handsome. That gentleman is so generous. Now the fourth type of sentence is the imperative sentence. Now what is an imperative sentence? Imperative sentence will always issue command or instruction or make a request or offer advice. It will issue a command or an instruction or make a request or offer advice. Let us have a look at the example. Get your hands up. This is a command. Do your homework. This is an instruction. Close the window. This may be a request or a demand. Now let us have a look at the type of sentences based on structure. There are four kinds again. First one is a simple sentence. Second one is a compound sentence. Third one is a complex sentence. And fourth one is a compound complex sentence. Let us have a look at each one of them in a bit detail. Now what do you mean by simple sentence? A simple sentence is a sentence which must contain a subject and a verb. It must express a complete thought and it can have only one clause. That is an independent clause. Here are a few examples of a simple sentence. I ran out of paper for the printer. This is a simple sentence. I is the subject, ran is the verb, and there is only one clause. That is an independent clause. The cake smells good. The cake is the subject, smells is the verb. And it expresses a complete thought, and there is only one clause, independent clause. Can I have some milk to drink, please? So, I is the subject, drink is the verb, and it makes a complete sense. She went to the store. She is the subject, went is the verb, and she went to the store is a complete it's a complete sentence and it expresses a complete thought and there's only one clause in this, independent clause. Now the compound sentences. What does a compound sentence do? It actually joins two independent clauses. There will be two or more independent clauses. So it will join them by a coordinating conjunction or a correlative conjunction or a semicolon or a conjugative adverb. Now, if you want to know more about conjunctions, I have already made a video on conjunctions. You can check out that. So for the coordinating conjunction would be, you have to remember fanboys. So F is for, A is for and, N is for nor, B is for but, O is for or, Y is for yet, and S is for so. Or a semicolon or a correlative conjunction like neither nor, either or, and so on. Let us have a look at the examples. I arrived late. However, the class had not begun. There are two independent clauses. I arrived late and the class had not begun. It is joining by conjunction. However, it was hot outside, but the ice cream did not melt. Again, there are two independent clauses. The first one is it was hot outside, and the second one is the ice cream did not melt. So the two clauses are joined by the coordinating conjunction but. So this is the theory of compound sentences. Now let us understand what a complex sentence is. It consists of an independent clause and one or more dependent clauses, and they are joined by subordinating conjunctions. I repeat, complex sentence is a sentence that consists of an independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. So complex sentence will have an independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. They are joined together by subordinating conjunctions. Now what are subordinating conjunctions? So some of the subordinating conjunctions are as if, before, after, because, though, even though, while, when, whenever, and so on. So one independent clause and one or more dependent clause. Let us have a look at the examples. Because my coffee was too cold, I heated it in the microwave. I heated it in the microwave is a independent clause. Because my coffee was too cold is a dependent clause. And because is the subordinating conjunction. Second one, she returned the computer after she noticed it was damaged. She returned the computer is an independent clause. After she noticed it was damaged is a dependent clause. After is a subordinating conjunction. So the independent clause may begin the sentence or the dependent clause may begin the sentence. It is not necessary that always the independent clause will begin the sentence. It can also be that the subordinating conjunction could begin the sentence, as in case number 1. And if the dependent clause begins the sentence, we should put a comma after it. And if the sentence begins with an independent clause, there is no need to put the comma. Now the fourth one is the compound complex sentence. Now what do you mean by compound complex? So it is a combination of compound sentence and complex sentence. So it will contain two independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses and a conjunction. I repeat, it will contain two independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses and a conjunction. Here you have to remember one thing, that compound complex sentence is a combination of compound sentence and a complex sentence. So it will contain two independent clauses, a conjunction and one or more dependent clauses. For example, we did not win the game, but we were not unhappy because we the beginners had faced the veterans confidently. Now there are two independent clauses. We did not win the game. This is an independent clause. We were not unhappy. This is second independent clause, but is the coordinating conjunction. And because we the beginners had faced the veterans confidently is a dependent clause. And because here is the subordinating conjunction. So this is there are two independent clauses and one dependent clause. So this is an example of compound complex sentence. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, from me. I hope it was a knowledgeable session for you. So until next time, bye bye and take care.